everybody, it's Christian, Evermore Podcast, and Newcastle United Podcast, and Evermore YouTube channel. We're back from another Rumour Has It video where we're talking about players linked to the club this summer in the transfer window. We know we've got a couple of positions we really need to fill in the attacking third of the pitch, and we have been linked to a couple of more players in the last few days, which we're going to get stuck into in a minute. Just before I do a little bit of housekeeping, if you haven't already, please click that like and subscribe button. We're so close to hitting the 1600 mark. It might even be at 1600 by the time you see this video, but please continue to hit that button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any content. Really helps the channel grow. We've had an amazing growth of subscribers since we've been doing Evermore, and just it's amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. But yeah, if you can click that button, come on board if you haven't. There's loads of Newcastle content coming, so come and join the party. So without further ado, let's get stuck in then. So we were doing the Evermore podcast last night as I'm recording this, and this was breaking news that Newcastle United have decided to put a bid in for a young Portuguese striker for Benfica, which is this lad here who is called Gonçalo Ramos. So don't really know much about the lad, as we were talking about on the channel last night, but you know he's got a decent goal record there for for a young lad, kind of at 21. You know, he's big and he's strong. He did score against us in the friendly as well. Was when he made some space in the box with that header. You know, we were more focused on the defensive errors in Newcastle, probably than looking at Ramos' movement, which was pretty good. You know, he is quite mobile. He's got a good touch. You know, he occupies a back four. He can find space in and behind. You know, you can see his goal scoring record there for Benfica B. You know, 37 appearances, 15 goals, 6 assists, which is pretty good. And then obviously move up to the first team, 62 appearances, 17 goals, and 7 assists since 2019. So he's a pretty decent centre forward. He's handy. You can see from his heat map there, he spends a lot of his time in between the width of the post, which is really good. He can drift out wide and a bit deeper to get the ball as well. But this lad could really fit the bill in terms of the striker that we need to fill in for Callum Wilson when Callum potentially is injured, and we all know it's coming. He's 21 years old. You know, he's got his better years ahead of him. Great way to come and learn off a manager like Eddie Howe, who's got a record of veteran players. I mean, look what he's done with Joe Litton and Kraft. You know, if he can learn off Callum Wilson in terms of his movement and his goal scoring prowess, you know, it could really help Ramos become, you know, an even better player, you know, and quite often these young players do learn off experienced pros. I mean, even the best in the world, you know, your Ronaldos and your Messis, yes, they were brilliant when they broke on the scene, but learning from those experienced pros, you know, like Ronaldo would have learned from Van Nistelrooy and guys like that. Not that I'm saying that Wilson's in the same class as Van Nistelrooy, but you get my point. So yeah, this could be a really good acquisition. Yeah, 25 million quid is the reported fee, and I'm not sure whether Newcastle will move for that fee, whether they want to go that high. But you can see there, dribbling, he's good with the ball at his feet, holds the ball up very well, he's very strong, and he can come back as well and help out at corners. So yeah, this could be an interesting one. I think it could be an exciting one as well. You know, we look like we put all of our eggs in the Ekitike basket, as I've said previously, and that went tits up. I think that really caught the club cold, really. I think the club were adamant that deal was done, and Ekitike was going to be the heir to the throne of the number 9 shirt, so to speak, from Callum Wilson, who's probably got another couple of years left in him, really, at the top level. So you need to be thinking of a contingency plan rather than going spunking 70, 80 million quid on a striker next summer. But, you know, as we've said, the FFP rulings and the reason why maybe we're being a bit thrifty now is potentially we might need to go and do that next summer. So you never know. There's obviously method to the madness. You know, these guys know how to run a club a lot better than we do, to be fair, or we would be running it. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments below about Gonçalo Ramos, if you think he's a good player, if he's worth a dabble. We do definitely need a backup striker. You know, we spoke about this on the podcast last night. Looking at the bench, it's threadbare. You know, Callum Wilson was getting well marked, as the Lynchman said, by Nottingham Forest. But, you know, he pulled out that bit of magic that he can do because he's just an accomplished finisher. You look at the bench, there's nothing else there like that. Chris Wood is not going to get you those goals. You know, we've seen that already. You know, I don't want to sound like I'm being negative, but, you know, if this kid's 25 million quid and it's the same price as Chris Wood, you know, he can't be any worse, in my opinion. You know, Wood's been dreadful. You know, his movement, he looks 3-4 yards off the pace. You know, in the Premier League, in the pre-season games, he's not taking chances that he should be taking. And yeah, I'm starting to think that the Wood was a big mistake, really, a bit of a panic buy. I've said that before. I think we need to better that level. You know, obviously keep him in the squad for now, you know, as a body, but, you know, I think we need to have a better player as a backup option to Callum Wilson, because if Callum's getting no change out of the centre half and you need to change it up, you need someone with a bit of quality. And likewise, if he's injured, we've got the League Cup game against Tranmere coming up. You don't really want to play Callum Wilson in that, do you? So Chris Wood's probably not even going to get you the goals against Tranmere. So we do need to bring in these players definitely in there, and I think that's going to be one to watch. We'll be linked with loads of strikers in the next 3 weeks. But, Gonçalo Ramos is definitely gathering some speed. Pete Graves was quick to pour some cold water on it and said he's just one of many, which I imagine he is. So these bids will be leaking out into the press by agents trying to maybe get better fees for their players, or even get their existing clubs to dig deep and get new contracts to stop Newcastle buying them. But we'll wait and see what happens with that one. But the other player that's been mentioned, he's been mentioned with a glut of players, really. So we've been in contact with Chelsea, apparently, and we've asked them to notify us of any attacking players that are surplus to requirements. And there's quite a few in Thomas Tuchel's list of I don't need you anymore. Likes of the names of Ross Barkley and Billy Gilmour and guys like that. I'm not sure we would be going after them. Barkley was shit on loan at Villa. I like Gilmour, obviously being a Scot. I love Gilmour. I think he's a really good player, but I'm not sure whether we would get him either. I think he was poor at Norwich. I thought he'd do a lot better, but it's more on the attacking third that we're looking at. Players like Callum Hudson-Odoi, even Conor Gallagher has been linked. We might do a Rumour Has It video on Conor Gallagher soon, but I think if he was allowed to leave, he would have went to Palace probably, but maybe Chelsea are waiting to see who else they were going to get in before they decided on that decision. But the main player we're offering an update on is Christian Pulisic, the American captain, or Captain America as I call him. We've done a Rumour Has a video on Christian before. I think he's a cracking player. It's easy to forget that he's only 23 years old as well. He's got loads of football ahead of him. He's a very talented player, great with the ball at his feet, very skillful, quick, finds space, can score goals, can create goals. And I think he's wasting away at Chelsea like so many players have done. You go to a club like Chelsea with a big squad like that, and you're in and you're out, and you're in and you're out. But, Pulisic last season, all in all, played 38 games. He got 8 goals and 5 assists. So that's not too bad a record, that, in all fairness. It's a decent offering, especially when you're playing Champions League football, FA Cup, stuff like that. He played in the Premier League. He's played 22 times. He got 6 goals and 2 assists. So he's up there, in terms of our more attacking threat players like St. Maximans and Miggies and guys like that. I think he would definitely be an upgrade on them. The one worry with Christian, I believe, really is his injury record. He does get injured quite a bit. So I'm just looking at his injury record here. I mean, doing him a bit of a disservice. He's got coronavirus linked as one of his reasons for missing games. But if you look back at his games that he missed since he's been at Chelsea, so just 1s and 2s. But the big one came when he got a tear in his abductor muscle. He was out for 156 days. He missed 12 games. Hamstring injury in 20/21, 7 games. He missed out 63 days. Muscle injury again, 24 days. He missed 4 games. Ankle injury, he was out 52 days. He missed 12 games. So, I mean, all in all, he's missing quite a lot of games there. He's played for Chelsea. Just looking at his stats there. So he's played for Chelsea. Let's have a look. 75 appearances, 19 goals all in all. But in terms of games missed, he's missed, do quick maths here, so 24, 26, 28, 32, 39, 40. He's missed nearly about 44 games through injury since he's been there. So that's quite a lot of games. So that's one thing that puts me off Christian Pulisic is his injury record. I mean, there's no doubt he's a talented player, and there's no doubt that he would get goals and he would create goals for us too. And at 23 years old, maybe it's a case of him retraining the way that he plays the game, maybe his preparation before the game or after the game. Maybe he needs a little bit of that kind of coaching to get the best out of him. We had a bit of that with Kieran Dyer at some point, if you remember, where Dyer was brilliant, explosive, everything else, but he kept getting injuries, niggly injuries, hamstrings, muscles, ankles, shin splints, all that kind of a thing. And you have to manage these players correctly, have them in, have them out of the side, the preparation before and after. And I think Eddie Howe's so meticulous, you might be able to do that with somebody like Christian Pulisic. So there could be a bit of weight in that. He's got 21 goals and 51 appearances for America. He's a captain of America. Getting Pulisic, whether it's on loan or a permanent, personally, I think a loan deal potentially to be permanent at the end of the season would be better business, just in case he does have the bad injury record again. But the commercial element as well of having Pulisic in, which we talked about before, it opens up the market for America as well. He's the face of American football. He's the golden boy of American football, or soccer, as they call it. We get mixed up with them two sports. But yeah, I think he'd be a really good player just for his footballing ability as well. But that injury risk is a big concern to me as well. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below about Pulisic, whether you'd have him or not. Personally, if I could choose a Chelsea player, I'd pick Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think, the age he is and the ability that he has and what he could offer the side and the balance as well, being right-footed, I think would be a lot better than potentially what Pulisic could do. But, I wouldn't turn my nose up at either one of them. I think they're both very talented players and would massively improve the squad. But as always, guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to engage with you as well in the comments as we do so much. And as I mentioned at the start, if you haven't, please smash the button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, help us get over that 1,600 mark, and you won't miss any content, whether it be Rumour Has It videos like this, which I'm sure we're going to do a hell of a lot more of in the last 3 weeks of the window, or just a weekly podcast every Monday and Wednesday. But that's Chris signing off, so let's keep supporting that team. We're United, guys. We'll keep an eye on the window, and we'll see who we sign next. See you later. Bye-bye.